What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. It looks like in order for the Lakers to acquire Kyrie Irving, which they're the only team I think that's interested in them, they're going to need some help to do so. And, there's a lot of instances when you look at trades, if you've been following the NBA or if you know anything about basketball, there's always instances where you'll see there's a three-way trade between three teams in order for one team to acquire a player that they actually want, due to the fact of a lot of times there's issues with, contracts. And on top of that, there's always a situation where one team doesn't want certain pieces or they want more assets of, what that team has to offer, just to let go of one of their players so they can make sure they get a substantial amount back in return. So the Nets, when you look at their situation, they're looking at it like, we're playing with house money. We got Kyrie Irving. We got Kevin Durant. We're in the driver's seat. We make the decisions. We don't have to let them off their contract, or at least, but with Kevin Durant specifically, because, he signed a 4-year contract, so they don't have to do anything. They're in the driver's seat. They make all the decisions. You see what I'm saying? Even when it comes to Kyrie, because Kyrie is still, with that team. He's still under the Brooklyn Nets as we speak right now. So he's still with the Brooklyn Nets as we speak. So they don't have to do anything much. They're asking for more back for Kyrie because they want equal value. And the only way that's going to happen is if there's a third team involved. And the third team that speculates to come up is the San Antonio Spurs, because the Spurs are in rebuild mode right now. Because the Spurs don't have no assets really right now. They got probably a lot of, space to be filled. And, Greg Popovich is pretty much at the end of his run with the Spurs. They just let go of DeJounte Murray, basically sent him to the Atlanta Hawks. So that tells you they definitely in rebuild mode. And, I think they gave away another one of their pieces too. But I'm not sure specifically about that just yet. But this is my point. They're in rebuild mode. And they're the one team that, since they're in rebuild mode, the whole problem right now with the Lakers in Brooklyn, of course, is Russell Westbrook, because nobody wants to take on Russell Westbrook's contract for $40+ million. And he doesn't even look like he's worth half of that right now. You see what I'm saying? At least not for 1 year. You see what I'm saying? That's too much for a player who caused so much rift with a team like the Lakers and caused them to go down in a lot of people's minds. A lot of people think the Lakers would have been a lot better with just LeBron and AD, or, just the team they already have, without Russell Westbrook. Now, you can look at that in a multitude of ways. I personally think, Anthony Davis was more the reason why the Lakers didn't go as far as they could, because like I said, he's never really healthy and he gets injured from week to week. To me, I just didn't see, it seems like from month to month, the man is always hurt. You see what I'm saying? So I don't really see where he, is helping, the team. I don't see that, I don't see where he's helping them, like, to reach that, plateau like they did when they won the championship. If he's not healthy, if he's not available. So I feel like his absence in a lot of games and his, non-awareness of going out there playing aggressive every time he is on the floor, is not helping them either. So, of course, Russell Westbrook definitely was a part of the reason why, they didn't play well either, with his turnovers and him not fitting with the team. But Anthony Davis really, disappointed a lot of people last year too. But that's another story for another day. But this situation right here is difficult for the Lakers because, like I said, the Nets don't want Russell Westbrook. They really don't. You see what I'm saying? And they don't want anything that comes with him. See what I'm saying? So in this situation, the Lakers going to have to find a way to get a third team to help them. And the third team that's out there right now, that's partially possibly willing to help would be the San Antonio Spurs. The only problem with that is, as long as Greg Popovich is there, he has to approve of that. Everybody knows Greg Popovich runs that organization. He always has. And, one rule he's always had throughout his, coaching career, from what I remember him saying and speaking on, he does not like to help out competition teams, which is Western Conference teams. He never likes to help them out. He doesn't really like to trade players there and give them more of an upper hand on him. Now, he might be different now. The notion might be a lot different since he's in a rebuild mode with this team and this team is not going anywhere anytime soon, he might have a different approach now. But that's always been his approach, because even in 2017, 2018, I think, Kawhi Leonard wanted to request a trade from the San Antonio Spurs to go to the Lakers. That's where Kawhi Leonard wanted to go. You see what I'm saying? And, when that happened, we all know what happened after that. Kawhi Leonard got sent to damn Toronto in Canada, and this man wanted to go to LA, which is two of the complete opposite places in the world. You see what I'm saying? But that's just how much Greg Popovich doesn't believe in helping other teams out. You see what I'm saying? Or giving them the upper hand. It's just not his mentality. That's not the way he thinks. So, if he still has that mentality, it could be really tough for the Lakers to make this deal go through, because they definitely need that help from a third team. And why not a team like the Spurs, who are in rebuild mode, who definitely probably wouldn't mind taking on Russell Westbrook's contract and bringing him there, for 1 year, because they don't have anything else there. They don't have anything else to show for their organization or their fans. They're just in rebuild mode. So that would be a good asset in regards to, a team willing to probably take on Russell Westbrook, get him out the way, release his, contract, from the Lakers. Then the Lakers could offer Brooklyn more, and there could be another piece that's, comes from, the Lakers and or, the Spurs that could make the deal go through. See what I'm saying? And that might actually work, for the Nets, because the Nets just don't want Westbrook in return. And like I said, it's crazy, but the Nets really don't want Kyrie from what I see. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a crazy situation. It really is. And I'm not sure if it's actually going to go through, because like I said, when you have to have a third team involved to make a trade go through, a lot can go wrong with that. The third team can back out. The third team can, they can ask for, certain amounts of, quality pieces back, or your picks, all your picks. A third team can do a lot of things, because they're really in the driver's seat more than you are, because without them, you're not able to get what you want from the other team, which is the Brooklyn Nets. So really, the Lakers, when you look at it, their situation is so odd, because they're at every team's mercy, even though they're one of the, most popular teams in the NBA. But it doesn't matter. They're at every other team's mercy right now, because they're basically trying to find a third team, in which I think they did, with the Spurs, because the Spurs are listed as a third team that they found that might be interested or might go through with it, pending upon Greg Popovich. And, if he comes back, or if he retires, who knows what he's going to do. But I'm just saying, they're that third team that's in that's in the shadows for them, that can actually help them. But like I said, when you need help as a team to make a trade go through, when you have 3 top 75 players on your team and you still need help to make a trade go through, that says the Lakers are, that tells you what state the Lakers are in. They're in a very, very peculiar, odd position right now. And like I said, that's the reason why I say I'm not sure if this Kyrie Irving deal is going to go through. And to be honest with you, I'm almost tempted to say, unless it happens, now honestly, the Lakers might have a better chance of getting Kyrie next season. After this upcoming season is over, into next off season, they have a better chance getting him then, of course, than now. So because right now, a lot of people, Woj and all them, they're reporting as much as they can. They're giving much info as they can, putting out as much information as they can, but it's all, subliminals. It's all just up in the air. It's all, it's like, it's like they're just shooting nothing but blanks right now. They're not like connecting with anything firm right now, because it's like everything is still up in the air with the situation to me, because it's like, the Nets don't want what the Lakers have to offer, but they want to get rid of Kyrie so bad, but they don't want to get rid of him and don't get nothing in return. And, there is still a possible chance, that they might actually end up keeping KD too, because like I said, KD signed that 3-4 year contract, so they don't really have to do anything with KD. They can actually not trade him if they chose to. You see what I'm saying? Now, of course, I think they will, just to do KD some justice and do him the right way. Of course, I think they will, but I'm just saying they don't have to. There's no stipulation where they have to trade him because it's in the contract. No, when you sign a contract, you have to stay there unless they decide to let you go. So, but like I said, said, I do think they'll do KD right in that aspect. But in the long run, really, to be honest with you, as I said before, the Lakers be better off just keeping the team that they have, because it's becoming it's becoming difficult to get Kyrie to LA and to get rid of Russell Westbrook. You're trying to do two impossible things right now in one series. You know what I'm saying? In one move. They're trying to find a way to rid of Russell Westbrook and bring in Kyrie. And that's very hard to do when no team in the NBA really wants Russell Westbrook that's worth a damn anyway. That's a team that's trying to win anyway, because they see where he's at now. He's nowhere near the player that he was, first step wise. And like I said, he just turnover. He's just turnover prone. He's turnover worthy. He's not helping an offense anymore. It's like he's hurting an offense. And not unless he's on a team where he's just by himself, doing his own thing, putting up all them great numbers, and the team doesn't win anything. Because that's basically what Russell Westbrook is. He could put up a lot of stats, but winning is really not something that he can do, because his game doesn't elevate to that level. You see what I'm saying? So the Nets are looking at it like, hell, we got KD and Kyrie on our roster technically right now. Why do we want to? Why get rid of two players like that who still can help us win a championship? Because we still got Ben Simmons on this roster. I mean, hell, honestly, the Nets got a big three. I mean, if they stay where they are. So I mean, it's like if the Nets are looking at it like, we got a big three, why would we want to bring somebody in that's going to disrupt everything? I mean, hell, we don't need a Russell Westbrook. We got Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons could pass. Ben Simmons, he's almost like a better version of Russell Westbrook. I mean, Ben Simmons got a quick first step. He's younger. He can pass the ball better. He's less turnover prone. He doesn't turn the ball over much. He's more in control of his game. He can't shoot that well like Russell Westbrook, but he might be. I think he can actually shoot a little bit better than Russell Westbrook, if you ask me. But that's what I'm saying. They already have a guy who can assist the ball and, score and all that stuff. They already have that. And Ben Simmons, so they don't need Russell Westbrook. What would he be there for if they got Ben Simmons? It would be no point. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the Lakers are in such an odd position, and I really wouldn't be surprised they don't get Kyrie. I think they have a better chance of getting him, of course, after this next upcoming season, because Kyrie can just walk then. I think the $36 million contract that they gave Kyrie instead of the max deal, of course he doesn't like that, but he definitely has the option to walk after next season, or possibly walk after next season. So I think that'd be better for the Lakers to go after him then instead of this season, because they're going to give up too much and they might lose too much in the process trying to get him. And then if it doesn't work and they don't win a championship, then it's going to be like, oh man, we put all this stock into Kyrie and we fell on our face because we didn't even win a championship and all that, because if Kyrie goes there, the expectation is going to be a championship. You know that, and I know that. So like I said, I think the Lakers, they might be better off letting this one go, because like I said, depending on a third team to come in a three-way trade deal, that works out a lot of times. But usually in a situation like this, I've seen that work out more for teams who are trying to swap out star, players, not superstar caliber type players. Usually it works out way better for star players, or, maybe, more or less role players. It works out better that way, because teams, their cap space, they get to keep their cap space. Cap space is still good. They still get to keep a lot of their major assets and just make a three-way trade to get certain pieces in that can allow them to be better. So, I mean, this is a three-way trade situation that somebody's going to come short in. Now, of course, it should be the Spurs that come short in the situation, but even if the Spurs are in rebuild mode, maybe they don't want Russell Westbrook. Maybe they don't, what I'm saying? Maybe Greg Popovich doesn't want to coach somebody like that. So it's all up to him, really. So honestly, it's like the Spurs are more in control than the Brooklyn Nets or the Lakers, or at least it seems that way. So, I mean, really, it's up to them to really chime in on the trade and make a three-way trade in order for this to happen. But that remains to be seen. So we'll see what happens. But don't be surprised if Kyrie doesn't make it there this season. And don't be surprised if Kevin Durant or nobody goes to the Lakers. I mean, honestly, both teams, between the Nets and the Lakers, they need to just, all the players they have need to stay on the team. Like I said, Nets got a big three if KD and Kyrie stays there with Ben Simmons. And the Lakers already got a big three that they had last year. So, I mean, really, it's really no need to swap. I mean, in all essence, because both teams got enough to win. Honestly, they really do. So, I mean, when you look at it from that standpoint, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. And hey, we'll see how it pans out. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.